Our next speaker is our guest all the way from India, Abhishek, and I'd like to invite his evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster KK Lim, to read out his speech objective.
Thanks, Cheryl. Yep, our second speaker is actually our friends, Abhishek Kapoor, and his pathway is innovative planning, and he is doing a project laboratory elective. The purpose of this project is actually to inspire the audience. For the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others, and it's for the member to inspire the audience. So get ready to be inspired. With that, let's make some noise to welcome Abhishek Kapoor, striking the right chord. Striking the right chord, Abhishek Kapoor.
Last week, I saw something I've never seen before. An old shabby man with his noticeable ribcage sitting right behind a dirty display saucer, half filled with Indian currency, was holding something in his hand, which was the main reason he was earning more than fellow beggars sitting next to him. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. He was holding a dirty looking mirror, which had my reflection. I was completely shocked. And maybe because of that state, I actually dropped 2000 rupee note into his saucer pan. After taking 2 steps, I realized I just dropped 2000 rupee note. Am I not well or what? I was never so generous. I thought it could be a black magic. Let me wait here and see what this guy is doing. I waited there for 10 minutes. And to my surprise, he was not doing anything, not even uttering a single word, asking for money. But all passerbys were donating something or the other in his saucer pan. I was completely confused, at least for a week. But later, I realized he is actually practicing a beautiful art of empathy. Do you know what is empathy? Anyone? KK, do you know what is empathy?
Yes.
What it is?
Empathy is like understanding people's feeling and be kind.
Right, right. Absolutely. Anyone else? Does anyone has a different definition? No. In my childhood, I learned a simple definition. Empathy is stepping into shoes of others. That time, I was not able to connect what it is. But today, let me give you a simple definition in layman term. Empathy is not looking from these eyes, but from eyes of others. Hearing from ears of others and feeling not from this heart, but from heart of others. He was practicing empathy, and that art was helping him to connect people with him so that he will be able to dig deep inside their pockets. All passerbys were not donating money to that beggar, but they were donating money to situation in which he was, and now had their own reflection. Yeah, because of empathy. Let me tell you one more story, and this story is from this week. Tuesday, when I was working, I find complete silence around. which is pretty uncommon at my place because I have a 6-year-old daughter. So I decided to just check what she is doing. I peep inside the room. I find her wearing my office shirt and my formal shoes. She was trying to put on my heavy laptop bag on her little weak shoulders. And since she was making that effort dance, it made me laugh. I enter inside the room. Tarunya, what are you doing? Papa, I'm getting ready to go to office. Office? You are just a kid. No, Papa, I'm a big kid. She started thinking that she's big when she learned her baby cousin has been born in Netherlands. Before I was able to ask anything, she said, Papa, please don't disturb me. I already told you I am busy. I am busy. And let me also make a promise. Whenever I find you working on your laptop, I'm not going to bother you. Wow! As a working parent, it gives so relaxing to your ears that your child knows she's bothering you when you're working. And now she's making that promise. I came out smiling. Initially, it was just a humorous incident. But later on, I realized even my 6-year-old kid know how to empathize. My question to each one of you, when we know what is empathy, why we stop doing that? When we either grow up in life or succeed something, it's not a rocket science. Pretty simple to do. You need to get connected or make people connect with you. Just striking the right chord. No rocket science. Pretty simple. Let me tell you, everyone, yes, everyone has untold stories of pain and sadness, which makes them live and love differently than us. Please don't judge them. Let them know you are standing right beside them and not just standing, you are there to help them out, to take them out of their pain. Be patient and empathize. Over to you.
And now let's invite Abhishek's evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster KK Lim.
Yep, thanks, Cheryl. Yep. Abhishek, thanks for sharing, striking the right chord. Personally, I really enjoy your speech and get inspired. Congratulations. For me, you have met your objective of the speech, which is to inspire the audience. Why? First thing, actually, you are really a good storyteller with all the body gestures, facial expression, movements, like what Joanne mentions, to enhance the effect and impact to bring the audience all along your story point with the tone and pauses of speed, which were just right. And in addition, you have asked some questions also, which were really purposeful. I raised my hand when you asked about who understand what is empathy, and I never expect you to call me to answer that. That's why I was a bit clumsy a bit just now. Then, oh yeah, I know the answer. So I just answered. I think that's your skill of engagement. Well done on that. But how to bring your inspiration to the next level? You might work on that. One point that I think of. Try to link the first story to the second story with a connection. For example, normally we have points in our speech, but how memorable could the speech be is depends on how you link them together. Imagine if story A then actually is related to story B, then there's some connection in between that so that people will know the flow. So try to link from point to point, become a whole story. Then another suggestion that I have for you, as to add more inspiration, you could add a comparison story. Because you mentioned about a passerby and then you mentioned about daughter. What if you slot in maybe an example that you were not showing empathy? Maybe that incident you were so angry with something, then you didn't show the empathy, and what happened? Then bring that point that, oh, your daughter show you that until you realize, oh yeah, even my daughter could show me empathy. Then that makes the storyline, which like there was a climax and then come down, then you realize something to make the story more rounded up so that people can more remember more. So that's my two suggestions. Overall, you are really a good storyteller with adequate gestures and expression, and you added in the questions, which is really purposeful. You might work on link each point with connections so that it becomes a whole story. And in the storyline, add something comparison to make your point stronger. Why should we be more empathy? So I enjoy your speech very much. Let's hear from you more to inspire us. Thank you. Back to you, Cheryl.